Hello, gorgeous souls. How are you today? So, we're going live from Italia today for today's podcast, episode 13. I want to share with you some journal prompts from the Regulated CEO experience. And that experience is all about identity and nervous system recalibration. So, last night's call, we delved deeper into the identity of who is running your business right now and the version of you who has what it is that you're working towards. And then noticing the differences between the two. And then delving into this deeper work to actually look at where we get in our own way and where we either don't feel safe, where we feel uncomfortable, where it doesn't feel natural and normal. And then over the next 4 weeks together, we're going to be moving through that process together of change. So I thought today, because I wanted to make it nice and easy for myself, because the sun is now shining, we've had rain and it's been freezing for a couple of days. And it's now saying that I've got a slow connection. So I'm going to hope that this records. We will see. If and when you're jumping on the live here with me on Facebook, then do say hello. Drop me your favourite emoji in the comments. If and when you're catching the replay, then hashtag replay. If you are a first time listener, then let me know whereabouts in the world you are tuning in from. Make sure you say hello. And if you are watching over on YouTube, hello, you are welcome to drop anything in the comments box. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, then make sure you are subscribed to my podcast. Same for YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I would be so grateful if you did that. I drop a podcast episode every single week. I go live on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and then it gets uploaded to the podcast platform. So if you are new to this, it means that you can delve into the last 12 episodes as well as this one as well. So let's get stuck in. So I'm not going to mess around. We're just going to go straight into the journal prompts, okay? So what I will say is, if you've got a pen and paper, you can write these down. If you haven't and you'd like me to send them to you, then reach out to me on socials. So either through Instagram or through Facebook, send me a DM, or you can email me at hello@louiseblood.co.uk and I will send you these journal prompts so that you can fill them in, okay? So the first one is, who has been running your business? And where did that identity come from? So when we take ourselves out of running around like a headless chicken and things being chaotic and us pushing and hustling and putting pressure on ourselves and taking action and taking steps from a place of lack and frantic energy, I want you to think about what beliefs that you tell yourself, what stories that you tell yourself, and what fears that you have. Because if you are going around in cycles of burnout and not feeling good enough and questioning yourself and saying that you should be further along, that is not the energy to be leading in. Not for growing a business that you want to get to the level that you want to get it to. And you might say, yeah, but Louise, I've got things, I need to make the money, I need to make this happen, and it's all stressful and you're in survival mode. In order for things to change, you have to change first. You have to look at how you think, how you feel. Then you have to look at your business strategy and you have to align the whole thing. This is what we're doing inside of the Regulated CEO, is this work. Because until that changes, nothing changes. No amount of money will change how you feel inside. You might get a brief moment of relief. You might get a brief moment of going, oh my God, I made this happen. And then you'll go straight back into default mode, which is feeling stressed, putting pressure on yourself, feeling anxious, overthinking, I should have done this and all of that. And that is not what we want. So think about some of the beliefs that come up on repeat, some of the fears that you have on repeat, because they are habitual. They are just your default pattern and way of thinking and feeling without you even realising it most of the time. And this is what the identity and nervous system work is all around, is getting clear on what this is, like who's driving the vehicle within on autopilot. So the second question is, what qualities does my next level CEO have that I'm not yet embodying consistently? So if you think of the quote unquote successful version of you, which you think is someone different to you, and it's actually not. The successful version of you is you being more of who you naturally are. It's just that you're trying to be someone else, or trying to perform, or you're trying to make things look like someone else's, comparing yourself to other people, the more you that you are, and the more at peace with yourself that you are, the more that you love who you are, the more that you can authentically show up on your socials, in your marketing, in the DMs, all of that, then this is where business gets far easier, because you're no longer trying to be someone that you're not. So if you think about like the successful version of you, this is about how you feel in your business. Like, how do you want to feel? How do you want it to feel? Do you want it to feel hard? Do you want it to feel like flowy? Do you want it to feel exciting? Do you want it to feel exhilarating? Do you want it to feel fun? Do you want it to feel easy? How do you want it to feel? And then ask yourself, what are the qualities? What action can you see yourself taking? I would say as the regulated CEO version of you, but as the most successful version of you. And it's looking at where you can embody that identity now, to start taking those actions now, and to start noticing every time that you switch into the old patterns of ways of thinking, ways of feeling, the old stories that come up. And every time that you do, you have the tools to be able to regulate, to remind yourself of who you are, to ground and feel safe in the knowing that you shifting into this new identity, like it takes a little bit of time for the external to recalibrate to your inner recalibration. Okay. Third question. What would I have to stop doing and stop believing to let her lead? So what would you have to stop doing or stop believing in order to let her lead? Now, I have a few answers from the space. Let me just flip my page. And these are some of the answers that we've had, okay? So maybe you can relate to this. So I need to stop believing that I'm not capable. So you can be showing up and doing all the things, but if your belief behind the scenes is that you don't fully believe that you are capable, then you won't be showing up fully in your business. You'll be doubting yourself, you'll be questioning things, you'll not be consistent with your content, with your marketing, you'll not be doing your outreach, things like that. You'll not be leading your team yourself if you don't think it's capable for you. What story, where did that story come from? What makes you think that you're not capable? Why do you think that everyone else is more special than you are, if you have that belief? Another one, it's never going to happen for me. Again, where did that come from? People won't take me seriously. When you start to go out there and build your business, or maybe you are pivoting and you are rebuilding, maybe you are relaunching and doing something completely different. Maybe you've been in business before, but you're taking your business in a new direction. And, I've had conversations in the DMs this last week of people sharing this very thing with me, of people just see me as this person here. And now it's like they're questioning why I'm doing this new thing or where I'm going with this new direction. And they want to pull me back to, who I was before. And this is when you start to step outside of yourself and you start to do something different. It unsettles people because they know you for who you are now. And when you go through the identity shift process, people find it hard. They're just like, because they're the same. So they want you to stay the same. So they'll want to keep you where you are. So this is why it's really important that you surround yourself with people that have the mindset of growth, personal growth, evolution, expansion, all the things. Another one, do you find yourself looking for evidence that it's not working? Do you stay focused on your thoughts, your feelings, your actions? Or are you looking left and right all the time going, well, this isn't working and I've tried that and this isn't working and that's not working and that hasn't got a result yet and da-da-da-da. It takes time. If you are honest with yourself, how long have you been consistent for in your business? Like, if you are truthful to yourself, how long have you been consistent with your actions in your business? And again, I had a DM conversation with someone this morning and I said, what is the biggest challenge in your business? Or Also, she is a mentor in network marketing. She's got a big team. She's doing really well. And I said, not just yourself, but what is it that you find across the board with people joining the business? What would you say the biggest challenges for people like in your team? And she was just like, you know what I'm going to say, Louise? The biggest thing is consistency and giving it enough time and believing in themselves. It's like those things. Sounds really simple. Sounds really basic. But it's true. Fully believing in yourself, committing to the action required, and doing it for long enough. You can't just plant a seed in the ground and expect it to grow overnight. It takes time. It takes time to water the seed for it to grow. So if you are truly honest with yourself, have you been doing this for long enough, consistently, in the right mindset and the right energy? And if the answer is no, that's okay, because you can start now. Today is a new day. You have a new choice. And this is the thing about being consistent. This is not about mapping things out for months and months at a time. This is just about, this is about today. Just today. I'm going to show up today. And that is it. I'm going to show up today. Because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and you can't change what's happened in the past. Energetically, you kind of can, but I'm not going to go there on this podcast. That's one for another day. Are you focusing on aligned action rather than the results? So rather than just focusing on results and being results driven, be more focused on the aligned action than anything else. Because if you're taking the action and over time the results still aren't coming, then we can see what is working and what isn't working. Evidence is created through action, not through thinking about it, not through trying to figure things out. It's created through action. And this is where most people don't want to show up and don't want to do the things, because they're just like, well, I've done this thing and it didn't work. And it's like, that's great. I actually had a chat with someone in the airport about this, because they said, how do you deal with failure? They said, I find it really hard, because I'll talk to anyone. I find it really hard to do something in case it doesn't work out, because I get really down when it fails. And I said, you've got to become friends with failure. You've got to be okay failing. And we talked about, I can't remember, is it whoever made the light bulb, about how they found 20,000 ways to not make a light bulb until they found the way. And this is what this is like also. If you're in there, you've got skin in the game, you'll learn what works and also what doesn't. And then, are you focusing on lack? Are you stuck in the energy and mindset of lack, which can be attaching yourself to, please work. Oh, it's come back. I think we're okay. The signal's a bit rubbish here. Are you focusing on lack? What's maybe not happened, what hasn't happened, maybe like the scarcity from the past. And when I say the past, I'm not talking about years and years and years. It can be like yesterday, this morning, whenever. Because you get to choose a new energy and a new frequency, a new mindset, a new story in any given moment. So let me go back to the questions. So these ones now, they were the three main questions, were those three. And I will drop those three in the show notes, okay? And then I've got some bonus journal questions, because as I was going through, because there's quite a few questions that I dropped for my clients in the Regulated CEO, and I thought I'm going to pick out the ones, like some bonus questions just to share here on the podcast. And I was like, oh, this is really tricky, but I thought I can't read out all these journal prompts. But if you'd want these sending to you, these journal prompts, the bonus ones, then reach out to me and just let me know and I'll email them over to you or send them on a message. So the bonus ones are, the CEO I've been playing it safe as. Let's be honest. Have you been playing it safe? So the CEO I've been playing it safe as looks like, insert answer. And she showed up because. Now in nervous system work and in this identity work, we're looking at where we default to the familiar and where things feel safe, where things feel normal, even though it's not necessarily what we want. And when we're moving into new identity and we're changing things like changing habits, changing those aligned actions, it can feel uncomfortable. And if you've been playing it safe, it can feel unsafe stepping into like being bigger, being bolder, being unapologetic, posting more on socials, selling more, marketing more. It can feel unsafe. What are people going to think? Am I going to annoy people? What if people think this? What if people think that? What if no one buys? What if no one's interested? All of that crap can come up. It's completely normal. You're a human being. So the CEO you've been playing safe as looks like what? What are you diluting? Where are you playing small? Where are you treading carefully? She showed up for a reason. So she showed up because ... Why? Okay? The next question is, the belief that's been quietly running my business. So this is the one that's not conscious, but this is the one that will come up when things go wrong, when you want to hide, when you want to not post, when you're inconsistent. This is the belief that will come up for you. And it could be one that I said earlier. But that's the belief that's been quietly running your business. It's not there in flashing lights all the time, but you will feel it in your chest. You will feel it in some part of your body. So the belief that's been quietly running my business is ... I learned to lead this way because... insert your answer. And at the time, it kept me ... fill in your answer. When I was like sharing these questions, I was like, oh, these are so good. In the group, these are what I've shared in the Telegram group with my clients. And then the CEO I actually want to be, okay? Because we have to become aware of what's running the show. We have to become aware of the subconscious mind, like the thoughts, the reoccurring thoughts, limiting ones, the stories, the fears. We have to become aware of them in order to do something about it and in order to change them. Otherwise, we'll always default back to them. So the CEO I actually want to be feels like... insert answer. You might want to feel bold. You might want to feel, like I said, excited. You might want to feel confident. You might want to feel brave. You might want to feel calm. You might want to feel grounded. Everyone's is different. It depends on what version of you you're wanting to step into as the CEO. So you get to choose that. And she feels like, so you insert the answer and you feel this in your body, in your decisions, and in your energy. So the full question, the CEO I actually want to be feels like ... in her body, in her decisions, and in her energy. So if you want me to send you those journal prompts, then just reach out to me on DM and I can send them across to you. I've also got a human design workbook as well. It's a daily checklist workbook because not only are we doing the identity and nervous system recalibration within the regulated CEO, we're also combining human design into that as well. So that we're looking at making decisions from a place of alignment. We're looking at leading our life and business from a point of alignment energetically. And so knowing your human design and knowing your energy type, we've got a checklist, a daily checklist that you can fill in to make sure that you are like really leading in your most potent energy, your most magnetic energy. So again, if you want that, I can send that along with the journal prompts to you. All you need to do is reach out to me on DM, on the Instagram or on Facebook, or you can email me, hello@louiseblood.co.uk. If you aren't connected with me on the socials, then what I will say is reach out and send me a friend request. And just message me a couple of times, or better still, this is even better, comment on one of my posts. Comment on a post to do with the podcast, comment on one of the regulated CEO posts and just say, I've inboxed you, or could you send me the journal prompts? Because I've been through my inbox today on Messenger and I had so many messages that were in spam. So they were like message requests, but also like spam ones, people you may know, all of that crap. So I've gone through loads of messages today. So if that is you, if we're not connected on socials yet, then drop a comment on one of my posts on my podcast, wherever you find it. And I will see it and then I'll be able to send you the goods. And then the final thing, just notice, and this is just something I wanted to add on at the end of this podcast. Notice where you are bracing. So in your body, when you go to either take action or when you find yourself like in your head or wanting to avoid the thing that you said you were going to do, or you start to feel uncomfortable in taking certain action, just notice whereabouts in your body you feel it. For me, I always feel it in my chest. And I find myself bracing, playing, and sometimes like playing small, playing safe, not showing up. Like, notice where you're playing it small, where you're playing safe, where you're not fully showing up. And when I did this work, I found it was in my chest, and I would sort of shrink myself and try and make myself smaller. And it was in order to protect myself from being judged. It was in order to protect myself from making the decision of going all in with something. Me bracing was to avoid feeling let down and disappointed. And that was because I'd been let down and disappointed so much in so many different ways, not just in business, but in life over the years. And it had a massive impact on me. And so my nervous system naturally, when it was like, let's go with this, wanted to brace and wanted to hold back, because it didn't feel safe to move forward, because it's as if it couldn't handle and couldn't hold the emotions that came with that. And so it's been a journey of sort of reassuring the nervous system, like regulating, doing that work to get back to being in a position where, you know, I'm able to be consistent, I'm able to show up in my business, I'm able to do the things. But it's just, again, noticing where you are potentially doing this. Like when you've made a commitment to yourself and then you go off track. I've had client conversations in the Telegram space and the Regulated CEO where they're just like, this is what I'm saying I want to do. But then actually when I look at my actions, I'm actually avoiding this and this and this, and I don't actually know why I'm avoiding it. So we're going into that to actually find out why. Because when we know why and when it makes sense logically, it's like, okay, I can do something with this now. I can bring reassurance, I can regulate, I can create safety, and I can move. And I can start to again build self-trust and create a new foundation for myself in terms of, it's okay, all is well, I'm safe, let's go, let's do the things. And this is how we build capacity. This is how we change the identity. And this is how we regulate the nervous system, and we expand it. So it expands in our capacity as we grow. So that's everything that I wanted to share with you today. Let me turn my camera around. Let's hope that the signal doesn't drop out. So you can see. I don't think I can zoom in from here. Oh, I can. Oh, go on. Hello. Let me show you the view. Now I can't zoom out. Oh, it's turned back round. Hang on. Let me show you the view. Let me show you the view before we go, because it's a gorgeous day. Right, hang on. This is the view. Look at the sun. Look at the sun. So I'm going to go back outside in the sunshine. Let's open this door, shall we? Look at that. Oh. Listen, regulating in this. Here for it, fully. Right, like I said, if you want any of the resources, you want the journal prompt sending, you want the human design checklist, I'm hoping this is recorded okay, but we will see. Just reach out, let me know in the DMs, on the emails, on the things. Make sure you subscribe to the platform, the podcast platform, on YouTube, and also connect with me on socials, because I go live every single week with the podcast. And yeah, it'd be lovely to have you. So wishing you an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you and speak to you next week.